Alice here. I'm back in the studio after having taken a little break, and some months ago, actually on the 30th of April, I put 3 swatches of Opera Pink up in my south-facing window, and I've left it there ever since to test out how much these Opera Pinks actually do fade when they're exposed to sunlight. And I live in California, I live up in the mountains in 6,000 feet, and my window is south-facing, and I have a lot of sun up here. We have 300 days of sunshine a year, and that includes the winter. And you know, in the winter the sun is actually lower in the sky, so it's even shining brighter in through that window in my living room, where I have taped it up. And you can see I tested out Holbein, Opera Pink, Da Vinci, and then the Winsor Newton, because I have those 3 and I've used them, and I love Opera Pink. So, you know, I'm always bummed when I hear that it's a really fugitive color. So I thought, well, let me test it out for myself and see how fugitive it really is. So here we are. I have put a white strip of masking tape down through the middle of these 3 test colors, so we can see. And now comes the big reveal, and hopefully I won't rip the paper. To see how much it has faded in reality. Wow, not that much. A little tiny bit. It's like it's lost a little bit of the blue tone here in the Holbein. This middle one, which is the Vinci, that's where you see the biggest color change. It's like it's not quite as bright, and it's a more bluish pink, but it's not like super duper critical. And here on the Winsor Newton, there's also a tiny bit of a color shift. You can see it, but it's not nearly as bad as I had feared. And so what it tells me is that I should, when I use the Opera Pinks, I'll stick to Winsor Newton or Holbein, because those 2 held up the best. So there you have it. So it was from the 30th of April, so that's May, June, July, August, and then half of September. So that's over 4 months in bright sunlight. So there you have the facts on that. Just to be 100% fair and make sure that we have the exact right answer to our quest for finding out the light fastness on the Opera Rose, I took out my 3 samples from my swatch book that have not been in the window with or without tape on. So that's probably a fairer way of judging it. So here's the Opera Rose or Vivid Pink from Da Vinci, and you can see that's like, we can already see and already determine is that's where you have the biggest shift in color. It's much more bluish pink here than it is on the original sample. So it does that does change quite a bit. So there you can see that. Then here we have the Holbein and Opera, and here you can see it's not very much of a shift you see. This is the glazing. This one I just did 1 layer like here. So that's not too bad in my guesstimation. And then finally from Winsor Newton, that also did pale a little bit and became maybe a little tiny bit bluer. But it's not bad. The one I would definitely avoid, and that's good to know, is the Da Vinci, because there is a real shift. And there you have it. That's what I have to say on the Opera Pink, or Vivid Pink, or whatever the brands call them. There is a little bit of a shift, but it's not dramatic, is what I would say.